Hey guys, in this video we're gonna be checking out the top 5 best circular saws that are available on the market for their true quality.
I made this list based in my personal opinion and hours of research and have listed them based on popularity, quality, price, durability, user opinions and more. If you want to see more information in the updated price, you can check out the description below and also make sure subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video.
Starting at number 5, we have the Makita DHS680Z Cordless Circular Saw. If you're keen to do away with cables and want a circular saw that's relatively lightweight, this Makita DHS680Z ticks both of those boxes. It does pretty much everything you need it to, and it's an exciting and capable little saw. I tested it out on constructional timber and made loads of cuts at both 0 and 45 degrees bevels. I then tried cutting some hard English oak and used the included rip fence to cut along some softwood boards. On all accounts, it was an absolute joy to use. Even though this saw is incredibly light, the electronic speed control means you always have enough power to cut through what's in front of you. It might not have the biggest maximum cut depth at 57 mm, but you can extend the bevel to 50 degrees and still tackle 37 mm thick timber. The powerful brushless motor spins the excellent Makita 165 mm blade at a whopping 5,000 revolutions per minute, taking no time to get up to speed. The electronic brake stops it dead just as quickly when necessary. Overall, this is a blindingly good saw. It punches way above its weight in terms of power. Plus, because it's light, you can hang it off a rafter with the clever skyhook. Overall, it leaves an incredibly good finish on hardwoods, and I think this is hands down the best cordless circular saw on the market today. Moving on at number 4, we have the Evolution Power Tools R185 CCS Circular Saw. Sheffield-based Evolution Power Tools are a relatively new company when it comes to circular saws. Their budget-friendly saws and handy multi-material blades have gained them plenty of followers since they started back in 2002. Also, if you want to cut through more than just wood without changing blades, this is an option to consider. The Evolution R185 CCS is rated to cut through wood, steel, aluminium, plastics, and other materials. However, I mainly tested it against timber, from CLS constructional timber to English oak that I milled myself. This big saw chewed its way through crosscuts and a few rip cuts too. It's got a massive 1,600 watt motor and a huge 185 mm blade that spins round at 3,900 revolutions per minute. In general, nothing about this saw is subtle. It's heavy, it's noisy, and it's not the easiest to maneuver. It cuts through most things you put in front of it, but it takes its time and doesn't leave a particularly good finish. I suspect the main problem with this saw is that it's trying to be a jack of all trades and ends up being a master of none. You'd think that such a big motor would sing through oak, but it's slow. Overall, I'd say that it's not a bad saw for the money, but it's pretty rough around the edges. Because it's intended for more than just wood, it's one of the best circular saws if you're after a lot of features at this price point, but it has its flaws as a standard saw. At number 3, we have the Ryobi R18CS7-01 Plus Cordless Brushless Circular Saw. The big, green power tool brand Ryobi have carved themselves out a legion of devoted fans, and they're converting more DIYers every day. With a handy 18-volt battery system and one of the best grips in the business, this Ryobi R18CS7-0 is a well-balanced and comfortable saw to use. Putting this saw to the test against some constructional timber and English oak, I tried to make the tests as real-world relevant as possible. Most commonly, cuts with a circular saw will be parallel, but I also tried out plenty at a 45 degrees angle too. Using the included rip fence, I cut along the grain of some big boards as well. Even though this saw features a brushless motor, it seemed to struggle more than the other cordless saws when cutting. It worked well enough but wasn't the overall best circular saw that I tried. Nevertheless, sporting a big 184 mm blade, it can cut all the way down to 60 mm, which is quite a feat for a battery-powered tool. The 18-volt system allows the blade to rotate at 3,700 revolutions per minute, And if you splash out for some of Ryobi's high-energy batteries, it will put out some serious cutting power. There is another negative to mention though, and that's the fact that it's got far too many plastic parts for my liking. For this reason, I'm not sure if it's made well enough to quite justify the price tag. It comes across as a decent saw let down by cheap parts. At number 2, we have the Makita HS7601J2 circular saw. Makita's HS7601J2 saw is a reliable workhorse favored by professional tradespeople all over the UK. It doesn't have tons of fancy features, and it's not particularly light, but I still think it's the most capable corded circular saw available right now. Just like a tradesperson would, I put this circular saw through its paces on a variety of different woods. I blasted through constructional timber, hard English oak, and ripped through meters of thick softwood boards. This saw is unbeatable, side by side against any of the other saws on this list. It cuts the smoothest and takes the least effort to do so. It's not just a reliable and powerful saw though. It's also the most capable, with a maximum cutting depth of 66 millimeters. The 1,200-watt motor spins the 12-tooth M-force blade up to an extraordinary 5,200 revolutions per minute, which helps make the cuts so effortless. The only 3 things that count against the saw are that it's corded, that you can't make beveled cuts over 45 degrees, and that the safety switch isn't double-sided. For a saw that's used so much in the real world, these factors are a little disappointing. They make it just a touch harder to use. Also, at first, I thought this saw was a bit heavy. It is quite weighty, but this does seem to be because all the parts are high quality and made to last. If I was only reviewing corded tools, this would easily win as the best circular saw overall. But when compared against cordless models, it does have the downside of tethering you to a power supply. And finally at number 1, we have the HYCHIKA corded electric circular saw. This isn't the first time I've tested out HYCHIKA power tools, and I've been pleasantly surprised by this budget brand before. They make solid and inexpensive kit that performs well without being too expensive. The same is the case for their 1,500-watt corded circular saw. It's a decent corded saw with a powerful motor, laser guide, and impressive cutting depth. Starting with the ergonomics, this is a comfortable saw to hold, with a TPE-coated rear handle and chunky front grip. It's like the Evolution saw, a bit on the heavy side but well balanced. There's an ambidextrous safety switch and a large 2-finger trigger that's comfortable to use as well. It's good to see that the blade guard is made of aluminium and that the bottom plate is reasonably thick. The onboard 1,500-watt motor can spin up the large 190mm blade to an impressive 4,700 revolutions per minute in a second or two, and to tackle rough cuts and finer work, they've thrown in a pair of blades. There's a 24-tooth and a 40-tooth TPI included in the set.
Thanks you for watching guys. I hope you liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, please make sure like, comment and subscribe. If you have any question related to this product, you can leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.